Having worked in areas like this for the last couple of decades, I understand that so much of the responsibility of what we do as leaders is managing the energy of the teams that we're working with. If we can understand what's going on, if we can see the cycles, we're in a really good position to be able to help them move through it. And as I said, whether it's managing scenes of multiple homicides or things like Bali or Thailand or the waterfall train crash we had here in Sydney, so much of it is about looking after the staff and their energy. And I've seen staff just come up time and again. And I've developed this model, and I know you're excited about a model, but let me take you through it anyway. You see, when we start, we go into this first stage I call the frantic stage, and for us, that's when we turn up into somewhere like Thailand, and we're working exceptionally long hours, working between 14, 16 hours a day for the entire month that we're there. We had no days off, came home absolutely physically spent. And we didn't have to whip our staff up to get them to do it. You didn't have to offer money or incentives. They did it because of the energy and because of the adrenaline that existed. But then it changes and it goes into this second stage, I call the controlled stage, where it shifts and we go from one of crisis management into consequence management. Here it was a whole lot more business-like. We're developing position descriptions to make sure we're getting the right people from around the world. We're forecasting how long we're going to be away for. It was around asset management and looking after all the stuff that was going on. But the third stage for any project, I would suggest, is the most difficult stage, because this is when energy drops. And where the model sits really well is when we look at the guys who came across to Thailand. It didn't matter if they came across in January, days after it happened, or they did their first rotation some 9 months on. They went through this same stage. And they'd turn up on that first couple of days and that first week, and they had all this excitement. They didn't know where to go, who to report to, who was reporting to them. This was all what was going on in that first week. The second week, though, they were down to business. They knew what their work was about. They knew what they were doing. The third week, though, this is when they were missing their families. This is when they were homesick. This is when they were sick of getting up at the same time to get on the same bus to go and do the same thing. The final stage to it, though, is you've got to have an exit stage. You've got to understand how you're going to get out of it. And for us, it was about building up the capacity of the Thais so they could take over from what we're doing. And you look at this and you go, Baines, that's brilliant stuff, absolutely fantastic. And I can see that on your faces right now. And you go, but we don't work in crisis, we don't work in disaster areas. Some of you are probably going, yeah, we haven't been to my school, but